Stop trying to save the world. Save your world first. Nowadays, people feel the need to save the entire world by speaking very loudly about situations that are affecting the people in the world, the population within your state, the population within your city, the population within your country. Due to the lack of urgency, people don't feel the need to participate in making sure that we follow the right crowd into saving the world. And with that being the case, it's best to save your world instead, because you can change your reality. You can do all the things that you would like to do in your world. You know the world is yours. You have your own mind. You have your own reality. Now, when it comes to saving your world and the world that's inside you, internally and externally, I need you to understand the things that live within you. The population that lives within you is your ancestors, your past lives, your future life, your younger self, your current self. This is the spiritual population that lives within you. Now, externally, when you focus on saving and curing the things in the people in the population within you, you'll start to see a different reality in the physical world. The outcome of saving the world within you, connecting with your ancestors, connecting with your past life, and just making peace with it, protecting your inner child and your future self that lives within you. Your future self is whatever you imagine that to be. That population all working together for your current life in this present moment is what you need to be focused on, so in order to strengthen yourself from within and without. Now, most people don't really care to save the world in general, right? That's because it's a lot of fear and there's a lack of responsibility. There's a lack of, like I said, urgency. Nobody really cares. Everyone cares about what's going on in their lives, which is why you might see celebrities or you might see influencers really not speaking on certain situations that are going on in the world. Is because they're focused on their own thing, but most of the time their own thing isn't suiting them spiritually, is actually breaking them down, and is going to continue to make them weaker if they don't stand for anything, if they're not protecting anything that's within them and on the outside of them. Now, you could speak on these things, but most of the time, these things will drain you, because as loud as you speak, unfortunately, there's people that are working hard to make sure that you're like underheard or not heard at all. So make sure when you're just protecting your inner world, you are literally making peace with it, and you're understanding that since this, like, it's a spiritual war. So spiritually, your world has to be strong. You have to feed it the knowledge that you've grown throughout your lifetime. And when it comes to your world, you are responsible for everything in it, okay? You are the president in your world, okay? You are the government, you are everything. You are supposed to make sure everything is working functionally. If anything is out of line, you will feel it, and that's when the static will come from your spiritual world and will connect to your reality. That's where the static will come in, because if neither your reality and your spiritual world is aligned or together, that's where the mental drainage comes from, because you're trying to take control of something. You want to make sure that, like, if you're someone that speaks out on a lot of situations and you just want everyone to just focus on this one thing and it's unfortunately not working, that doesn't mean give up, but just make sure that some people do envy the fact that you speak up so well about certain situations. And most of the time, they come up with things to distract people. And when that happens, that can be really draining. And most of the time, all of that drainage that you feel can be someone behind the screen that come across your video or came across you in person, and they're just trying to really like mess with your chakras, or they trying to just mess with your spiritual world and distract you from it, or extract you from it, take all that power from within you and put it in themselves. You need to make sure that everything is you need to make sure that your internal world is fighting for you when it comes to anybody trying to mess with it, tamper with it, destroy it, go to war with it. Okay, now like certain countries go to war, right? Throw bombs, stuff like that. Spiritual war is the same thing. It's different people with different worlds, maybe just going to war with you, right? Sending bad spirits towards your way, right? To damage you, okay? To cause destruction. Like, just imagine that for a minute. Everybody going to war, but it's spiritual. So it's not just a small group of people, right? The 13 or the, I don't know how many the powerful people it is, but it's not just that. It's people that trickle down, right? That are also trying to go to war with people who have strong internal spiritual energy. They're sending things your way through eye contact, through spells, all of that stuff. You need to make sure internally your spiritual world knows how to fight. Your future self, I'm sure, is a strong person. It's a strong, intelligent, wise person. Your younger self, you need to is levels to that, because your future self is already knows the outcome of certain things, that already overcame certain things. Your younger self, unfortunately, didn't overcome much, which is why you have to cure those things and make sure that any pain and any trauma that you carry, you faced it, you've dealt with it, and you got to make sure that your inner self is okay. Your past self, you have to make peace with that as well, because you didn't know before what you know now. And as long as you're walking in the footsteps of your future self, everything will feel much better. You'll feel just even more powerful, because you know your strength is really like, you built your strength, and you built it in a way that is functioning, and that it's loving, and that you know everything is getting taken care of. Your ancestors, they've been through things, they passed things on to you that you may not like, or there's some things that you do like. Whether you notice that or not, but you are carrying those things. Okay, when it comes to generational curses, it's generational wealth and things too. There's generational knowledge. You are also carrying those things. Now you can also, of course, make sure those things are back to how they're supposed to be, back to them being pure, back to them being something that's positive, okay? Because a lot of us has a lot of generational curses and generational trauma, unfortunately. So if you could just build an internal community where all of those things can come together and help you from the within, and all of those things just feel safe, everything is functioning, everything is getting attention when something is going bad, like people who govern the city just make sure that if there's a sinkhole, if there's something that's wrong with the city, they make sure they're supposed to, at least they make sure that they're on it as soon as possible. That way everything can function the way it can, and no mistakes. They nip it in the bud right then and there, so no future mistakes can cause them any more things in the future. That's what you need to do for your world internally. And this isn't something that's particularly easy. So you do need to take baby steps with this, because sitting down and just communicating with everything that's within you, okay, it's not just one of those things where you can just go off into like a fantasy world and just imagine your future self, your past self, your younger self, your ancestors, and stuff like that. You know, it's not a fantasy thing. You have to literally talk to these things. Like, imagine just in your head, in your world, that you're right in front of either one of those things and communicate with it. Okay, those are baby steps because it is an emotional process. And your future self, your inner child, your past self, they will tell you, your ancestors, they will tell you what you need, okay, and what they need. They will tell you also what they need in order to just function within you properly. Now, most people isn't going to really like understand this, and you know, for the ones who really don't care about connecting with these things, they will just lack a certain amount of power, okay, or they just might be more physical based, the reality in their physical world that they share with other physical people. They just may be stronger in that area, but they lack power within the spiritual world. You are someone who has a lot of power in the spiritual world, and you're looking to enhance that. You're looking to work on that as much as possible because you understand that this is bigger than what it may seem. And you also need to recognize what's blocking you in your mental capacity to even fathom doing something like this for yourself, because this is very important right now. Like, not only do you need to just get right with God, just period, all the things that come like right under that, all of those things just need to, like, you need to internally connect with all of those things, because people are literally preying on us right now. Like, and I don't know if y'all noticed, I will make a video on this, but a lot of demons are rising within the world. Okay, so if you're someone who is usually a nice person and you may come off as like more meaner now, it's not that you're mean, it's just that you are in warrior mode. Okay, if you're someone who's not feeling like warrior mode, but you're not feeling like evil, then that means you are like easily going to be attacked within the spiritual war that is happening within the world that we share with physical people. Okay, even though we are physically here, we are more spiritually aligned people. A lot other people are more physically aligned, so they are more grounded with the things that are within this world. They focus on worldly things, we focus on spiritual things. So getting right with the world that is within you and trying to save that world first, because this physical world is really trying to play like a lot of games on us and trying to just make us still feel crazy, even though everything could be out there all at once. Especially with AI, of course. Like, AI isn't like it's out, but it's definitely meant to just make us feel even more crazy, especially the people that are in the spiritual world. It's meant to make us feel crazy. It's meant to make us feel left out. If you're someone that uses AI to help further understand the things that are spiritual, that's kind of like an oxymoron. Because you're supposed to ask you're supposed to ask God, but then you're also supposed to ask like your ancestors, and then you're also supposed to grab knowledge from now and communicate it with your past life. Asking AI for spiritual knowledge is not like, that's like an oxymoron. So, certain things you might just have to go back to the natural. Just stop trying to connect your spiritual world and connect it with the physical world that obviously, unfortunately, is dominated. A lot of people just can't not connect to what's really important and the things that are much greater, and the people that are really just preying on us spiritual people, they're doing everything they can to deplete us from our connection within our spiritual selves. So if you're not aligned with your inner world the same way you're aligned with everything that's happening in the physical world, even like if you are a spiritual person and you focus on a lot of the physical worldly things, you it's not that you are involved in it, but you do like consume a lot of the news, you do report a lot of the news, that stuff can actually like swap with you. So you may just be more focused on what's happening within the world, and you may not even realize that you're not even spiritually connected to the real you anymore. Like everything that you've put all your energy and your mental space towards, it has literally consumed you to the point where like your focus is only on that. Like your habits is mainly just reporting worldly things and just not being as connected as you usually would be to your inner world and your spiritual self. And you don't want that, because you like during this time you need to be connected with your inner self as much as possible, because when you are reporting these things, or when you do acknowledge these things and they do, like if you are like someone who's empathetic as well and it drains you, just sit back and realize what you're really putting your energy towards majority of the time. And I know, like, most of the time, a lot of us do try to help, and a lot of us are trying to help people reconnect with their spiritual self, because maybe their spiritual self is like they're numb to even feeling like the spirit in their soul that's within them. They're numb to feeling their inner child. They're numb to even admiring their future self. They're numb to even following the footsteps of their future self. A lot of people cannot feel that. So it's hard for us to like try to help those people, because unfortunately they were someone who just didn't have enough strength in the first place. And if you are someone that's that person, please take this video and take it serious. You need to sit back and just consume less media for a moment, consume less music, consume less negative thoughts, consume less negativity from even other people that are around you. And you need to really sit in silence. You can sit in nature and really just hear what speaks to you internally. And you could call it by his name too. Like, what is this like speaking to me right now? Is this your current self? Is this God speaking to you? Is this an ancestor speaking to you? Is this your inner child telling you what it needs? Is this your past self telling you not to come back to what is already done? Just sit back and really just try to connect with your spirit at this moment. Try to connect with your soul at this moment, because eventually, especially with the technology that's coming just quicker than we thought, it is trying to make us numb to the fact that we can actually feel things, that we can actually know things without using the computers or just using man-made things. We can actually know things just by hearing what our ancestors have, just hearing what our past selves have already been through. Like, damn, I already been through that. How did I learn from that? Okay, how did I overcome that? Okay, like, just really ask yourself these questions. You can write them down too. Writing them down, I know it just sounds like, certain people just make certain things just sound like corny, like, because those are the people that just try to like distract you or like steer you away from actually just caring about your spiritual self in the first place. So they may try to like clown you for doing certain things, or just make certain things seem like it's unnecessary. Like, whoever you are, that's just who you are. You just gonna have to deal with it. No, you could fix who you are. You could fix what has been passed down to you, because who you are, who you are, you didn't really choose to be that. Like, certain things you had, like certain things and certain habits, certain traits have been just passed down to you, and that just ended up being within you, and that just ended up creating the person you are now. But you can't fix that. That's not just who you are, period, point blank. You just have to deal with it. No, you can fix that if you really want to, and it can happen. You just have to realize, and you just have to sit with yourself and try to feel what it is that you need in order for that to build a great amount of strength for this time period in the world. And you can also do this through food as well. Like if you talk to your food, if you talk to your food that is also organic and natural, you can start strengthening yourself from within just with that. Like if you start speaking to your food and before you drink it, or like your teas and stuff like that is mainly better with like tea, or just with your food in general, speak to it first before you eat it. Like just tell it that you need a clearer mind, a less foggy mind. You need to relieve this depression that I'm feeling. You need to make me just feel a boost of energy, right? Can this drink give me a boost of energy? You could talk to your food as well. Can you just just ask what you want with the food or with your drinks, specifically your teas, your specialties, if you have any special not trying to be funny, like I know specialties is a word, but specialties that you have to drink. If you have any like teas that you like to just drink often, just tell what you need from it and it will give it to you, because that could be something that could also just help you with any parts of your bodies that you need help with connecting. And of course, know that the teas that you're drinking has, what benefits it could bring you, not only just health wise, but spiritually. You can buy books on that. You don't have to look it up online if you don't want to use online. Just make sure you could just get some books on that. Another thing is buying books. Just make sure you're buying more books also, so you can just rely on things that are made from more natural things. So like if it's made out of trees, then let's grab a book more often and just read the things and read the knowledge that past people have gave us, and just understand that you share this physical world with other people, but your internal world is mainly just you and your ancestors, your younger self, your past self, and your future self. That's your inner world that nobody else should be trying to barge their way into. Okay, if you spiritually do choose to share your inner world with somebody, make sure it's with somebody that you trust and you know that they will take care of your inner world as well. Okay, make peace with those people too. If you decide to have anybody be involved in your internal world, make sure you trust them. Make sure they're not bringing destruction. Make sure they're not just trying to attack you and for no reason, like because they are someone who's not properly functioning internally and externally. Be careful with that. If you have kids, just make sure they understand spirituality at a young age. Now, it doesn't have to be the woo woo things, it doesn't have to be the the crafty part of spirituality, but just make sure that they know what spirituality is and know that what and just help them recognize what's living within them. Tell them the generational curses that were in your family. Tell them the generational traumas, the traits. Just help them understand those things so they know, like, if those things occur, they know how to handle it. You don't know when your last day is going to be. So if they can just understand those spiritual things at just an early age, they can know how to deal with certain things that you've already dealt with. I get it that most of us don't want like certain kids to know about certain things. You just want to steer them away from that so they could just focus on the positive 100% of the time. But they're in a world with people who don't have that same lifestyle, so they do have to be aware that people will try to just attack them spiritually. So if they understand what prayer is, if they understand what just meditation is, if they understand what just meditation is, if they understand just what spirit, like how to spiritually connect with themselves, even at an early age. If they watch you do it, you can help them understand just at an early age that this is very important for when they grow up. They're growing up in a very dystopian world, because this world, like the kids that are here right now that are very advanced for their age, they are the ones with the superpowers. So if you can help them understand and recognize that they have this power that most of us really don't have as advanced as them, they will understand how to use it and how to use it when they need it. You don't want to steer them away from it, because when they actually need it, where can they get it from? How would they know? if they change if they change the history to certain things, if they change the wording to certain things, if they change the meaning to certain things, they won't never know, like, how are they supposed to handle the spiritual battle that's in these people that are literally preying on them. They're not just preying on our energy, they're preying on the kids' energy too. They're the ones with the superpowers. We are just gaining our superpowers, right? But they're literally born with it. Okay, so you have to make sure that they understand what spirituality is, what spirits just linger around preying on them, and they don't have to be fearful of it, but they do have to just know, like they have to know. And if your kids are people that are living within your internal world, what would you teach them? What would you do for them? What would you do to make sure that they are well taken care of, not just in the physical world? Because I know a lot of parents are making sure that their kids are well taken care of in the physical world, but how do they know that they're well taken care of in the spiritual world too? Okay, they can pray and stuff, like they could do everything, just make sure they know, they understand why they're praying. Okay, they can pray, but if they don't understand why they're praying, like, you're kind of just missing that connection for them to just grow up even more, just advance, and to just know certain things ahead of time, and just to fight for themselves ahead of time. Okay, you're not going to be there every step or with every encounter. You can't really fight for them all their lives. So they have to know how to fight on their own too. Make sure that they're building strength just internally and externally. Even your kids' dreams, right? If your kids have dreams, talk to them about their dreams. Study their dreams, help them study their dreams, because they might just overlook it, right? Something they may dream about, something that may happen in their future. They may dream about something that may happen in your future, their siblings' future, their grandparents' future, their cousins' future, and they might just overlook it. They might not understand what their dreams are in that moment. I've had dreams as a kid. My mom has dreams as a kid. I've talked to certain older people who have had dreams as a kid, and right after that, it's like something happened, but they didn't know that those things was going to connect, right? So just making sure that your kids understand what spirituality is and how just the spiritual world works, that they're involved in, while also living in the physical world, it would just help them a lot, and make sure that they understand their dreams. Because if you are someone who has a generational thing of people who have psychic abilities, or was it clairvoyant, they need to know, like, that's something that is passed on to them, and they can understand that at a very young age. They're very advanced for their age. We all can see that. So it shouldn't be something that you should be like holding back from them, because they're going to need it. Another thing is your pets. If you got pets that got an evil energy, okay, but you just been taking care of it for all these years, you and this pet just may be connected somehow, but if you just feel like this pet isn't like as good as it's used to be, or this pet that you got isn't like operating like it usually would, just make sure you are very like checking up on the pet that you got and just make sure that like everything is good with you in the animal world. Okay, because like like I said, the demons in people are rising, and so is the warrior energy in a lot of people. So you just need to make sure, you just need to check up on everything and make sure everything is good, and make sure that everything that has a living spirit within it is right. Okay, and that is all I have for today. I want to repeat: stop trying to save the world, save your world first. The last thing that I do want to mention is I did apply for Streamer University. So I will be bringing my YouTube self over to the streamer world. If you would like to vote for me or just tag people, specifically Kai, please just boost this video up, hype this video up so it's seen, and maybe you could just see me there. Maybe I could just spread my knowledge while I'm there, interview a couple people, just check up on, it's going to be a lot of people there who kind of, let's say like the richer people. They're there and they can be dealing with like certain things that most people really don't acknowledge when they get interviewed. So if you want to see me there and kind of just acknowledge those people on a more deeper level, boost this video up, hype this video up, and maybe you'll see me there. Thank you for watching, and I will talk to y'all in the next video. Bye. And last but not least, we got to do an outfit check. How y'all like my outfit? I know it's sexy. I got a couple Scorpio placements, so my outfits is definitely going to reflect that. But yeah, got the little cheetah print going, pink and black. I thought it was cute. Eye catcher. I got the hearts. I don't know if y'all can see it. I'm gonna post pictures on my Instagram. It's like hearts in my contacts. I thought it was super cute. I hope you like it. And I will see y'all in the next video.